Hi, Frank Gray, partner with the law firm of Jimeno Gray. Today we're going to talk about the difference between physical and legal custody. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like this video if you enjoyed the content. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when we're pushing other content out that'll help your family. All right, physical versus legal custody. This is one of the fundamental building blocks of anything the court does involving the kids. We're going to talk a little bit about the difference between physical custody and legal custody. Let's start with the easy one, physical custody. It's either sole or it's shared. Sole physical custody means that one person has most of the overnights. Shared physical custody, assuming that your case starts or is reopened after October 1st of 2020, that means 25% of the time, 92 overnights in a calendar year. To see how that impacts the child support guidelines, and believe me, it does, we're going to embed a link to our other video down below where I walk through the child support guidelines. Physical custody at its essence is really just the schedule of where your kids are going to be on any given day. A lot of times what we do for a family is we're going to create one schedule for the school year and one schedule for the summertime, and we're also going to have a holiday schedule that overlays over both of those schedules. So the other concept is legal custody. Legal custody is a really broad concept. It means who's going to make important decisions for the benefit of your kids. The way that I describe this to our clients is it's the kind of decision that you would normally talk to other people about before you make the decision. You might talk to the parent down the street who has an older child that's going through the same kind of surgery that your child needs. You may talk to an orthodontist or multiple orthodontists to get opinions before making a decision. And after you talk to other people and get options, you and your child's other parent would sit down over a cup of coffee at the dinner table at night after you put the kids to bed, talk about the pros and cons, and try and reach a shared decision. Now, if you're in the middle of a custody case and we're talking about legal custody, it can go in one of a couple of directions. One is it could be sole legal custody. What that means is that one parent gets to make all the decisions and the other parent doesn't even get a voice. We also have the concept of joint legal custody, which is really at its essence a process of how we're going to make a decision. It could be pure joint legal custody where you both have to agree on every decision before a decision is made. Or it could have a decision-making process in place. What happens if there's not a shared decision? It could be that one of you has tie-breaking authorities, so we'll put a process in place. What that means is you would identify the area of disagreement, you would talk about it, you would exchange ideas and viewpoints, and then at the end of the day, if there's a deadlock, one of you would be empowered by the court to make the decision. One of the more recent trends I've seen with this tie-breaking authority is the court will actually split it up. Originally, when the idea of a tiebreaker came out, one parent always got all of the areas to make the decisions, but more recently what I've seen judges do is they'll give one parent a couple of areas, give another parent the remaining areas. That way they both have to communicate together. If you start to make your decisions without listening to my viewpoint, I'm going to make my decisions without listening to your viewpoint. Sometimes we also do legal custody where there's going to be a mediation provision. What that means is after you identify an area of disagreement, you're going to go to mediation to have a conversation with a professional to help guide that conversation. Legal custody generally falls into 4 different areas: health, education, religion, and general welfare. If you want more information on legal custody or physical custody or how these things play together, make sure to click on the link down below, get a copy of our book where we talk about this and other family law topics in depth.